Millions of people stay in jobs they no longer enjoy for one reason. They are afraid to lose what they've already accumulated: their pension, their benefits, their retirement plan. The very thing designed to create freedom can quietly become a cage. And many people don't realize they're trapped until years later. Most people think financial security creates options. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it creates dependence. The larger the future reward becomes, the harder it becomes to walk away from the present situation. What starts as protection slowly becomes obligation. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. If your pension disappeared tomorrow, would you still choose the same career? Would you still work for the same organization? Or is the future payout doing more of the decision-making than you realize? If that question makes you uncomfortable, subscribe now. This channel explores the hidden forces shaping our decisions. Psychologists call this the sunk cost effect. The more time, effort, and resources people invest into something, the harder it becomes to leave, even when staying no longer serves them. Rationally, the past should not determine the future. Emotionally, it often does. This is why people remain in careers they dislike for decades. They are not simply working, they are protecting an accumulated future benefit. Every additional year increases the psychological cost of leaving. The chains become stronger precisely because they are invisible. Organizations understand this dynamic well. Pension systems were originally designed to encourage long-term commitment and stability. But over time, they can create something unintended: employees who remain physically present while mentally disengaged. The irony is that many workers become less willing to take risks precisely when they have accumulated the resources that should make risk easier. Security starts producing fear instead of confidence. The asset begins controlling the owner. History is full of professionals who stayed too long, not because they lacked opportunities, not because they lacked talent, but because walking away felt like sacrificing years of accumulated progress. They confused protecting the investment with protecting themselves. Consider government employees approaching retirement eligibility. Many openly admit they are counting days rather than building careers. Their energy is no longer directed toward growth. It is directed toward endurance. The pension transformed from a reward into a countdown clock. Economists sometimes call this path dependence. Early decisions create constraints that make future alternatives increasingly difficult. A career choice made at 30 quietly limits options at 45. By 55, the cost of change can feel overwhelming. And the trap often looks rational from the outside. Friends see stability. Family sees security. Colleagues see loyalty. Nobody sees the internal negotiation happening every morning. The question is no longer, what do I want? The question becomes, can I afford to leave? Ironically, the people most trapped by pensions are often the people who planned most carefully. They acted responsibly. They delayed gratification. They built long-term security. Yet sometimes the very discipline that protected their future slowly reduced their freedom to redesign it. And this doesn't only apply to pensions. Stock options, executive benefits, seniority systems. Golden handcuffs come in many forms. The mechanism is always the same. Future rewards reduce present freedom. Many people imagine prisons as places that remove choice. But some prisons do the opposite. They offer just enough comfort to discourage change, enough security to make dissatisfaction tolerable, enough predictability to keep people waiting. This is why some of the happiest professionals are not necessarily the highest paid. They retain optionality. They preserve the ability to adapt. They avoid becoming dependent on a single future outcome. Meanwhile, others spend years telling themselves they only need to stay a little longer. One more promotion, one more pension milestone, one more benefit threshold. The finish line keeps moving while life quietly passes by. Some people eventually reach retirement only to discover a surprising truth. The freedom they postponed for decades feels different than expected. The activities they wanted to pursue, the businesses they wanted to build, the risks they wanted to take. Many are no longer as attractive at 65 as they were at 45. This is why psychologists distinguish between financial security and psychological freedom. One protects your resources, the other protects your ability to choose. The healthiest careers preserve both. The most dangerous careers sacrifice one for the other. The uncomfortable question is not whether your pension has a value. It clearly does. The question is whether it has become so valuable that it now controls decisions it was never meant to control. When a future reward determines every present choice, the relationship has reversed. The deeper issue is psychological. Human beings naturally overvalue what they might lose and undervalue what they might gain. Fear of loss often becomes stronger than hope for improvement. And that imbalance shapes entire careers. Security itself is not the enemy. Dependence is. A pension can be a powerful tool when it supports your choices. It becomes dangerous when it starts replacing them. The difference is subtle, but life-changing. Your pension should buy freedom. It should not buy your obedience. If this changed the way you think about career security and long-term success, leave a like and subscribe to 300 Seconds University for high-density insights in under 5 minutes.